Everybody always loves to hear from Craig Cunningham, and this time with some great news.
Pre-game ceremony tonight honoring Tucson Roadrunner captain Craig Cunningham.
Please welcome to the ice our captain, Craig Cunningham.
It's March 25th in Tucson, Arizona, as the AHL Roadrunners honor the only captain they've ever known.
He's one of those special individuals in the game of hockey that everybody gravitates to and respects and wants to be friends with.
How are you guys?
Amazing to see
nice
you.
To see you. How are you, buddy? Good to see you, man.
You never know if you have the perfect captain. I've been around some great leaders in my time, and he was right up there.
But this evening isn't celebrating Craig Cunningham's on-ice accomplishments. This night is about his will to survive.
He was just always fascinated with the game of hockey. That was his life. He had no other life than hockey. And it ended just like that.
Full disclosure, Craig Cunningham is one of my favorite people. I met Craig when he was 11 years old, growing up in our hometown of Trail, British Columbia. When I retired from the NHL in 2002, he became a staple in the Ferraro household. Craig became like a brother to my son Landon, and his unrelenting work ethic was a catalyst for Landon's NHL career.
He's the one that got me to get moving a little more, and then even now, he still kicks my ass on all this stuff.
Honestly, I've never seen anybody be able to outwork you or outcommit to what you're doing. Where did that start for you?
Growing up with just, my mom, I learned a lot about perseverance and dedication and kind of making things work when it's not always the best circumstances around.
In 1996, Craig lost his father, Alvin, when he died in a car accident, leaving his mother, Heather, alone to fend for her 3 young sons. It was during these dark days that Craig fell in love with hockey.
I think he would go there and release that energy and not have to explain or feel that everybody knew he didn't have a dad.
It was kind of a get away from reality, and I didn't, everything else that was going on was just not there for that hour that I was at the rink.
In these trying years, Craig's singular focus was forged.
He'd look you in the eye and he'd say, "Mom, I'm going to play in the NHL. Don't doubt me for a minute." And we never did.
Cunningham's got a break. Here's Cunningham. Scores! Short-handed. And it's the first National Hockey League goal for Craig Cunningham.
Craig started his NHL career with the Boston Bruins, eventually making his way to the Arizona Coyotes AHL affiliate in Tucson.
He loved the game, he loved playing, he loved battling. There's nothing he wouldn't do to win a hockey game for his teammates.
But everything changed for Craig on November 19th, 2016.
What do you know or remember about that day/night?
To be honest, nothing.
Getting ready to take the opening face-off, and I look to my right.
And I hear a lady in the next section yelling, "I think that's your son out there, and I think he's seizuring."
Shocking moment before tonight's Roadrunners game. Team captain Craig Cunningham collapses on the ice.
His arms were dragging way behind him on the stretcher. And I just knew that was not normal. Said to a fireman quite calmly, I don't think he's alive."
A lot of guys started crying, and not too long, they canceled the game, and we all rushed to the hospital to be right by his side.
I was in a waiting room without knowing anybody. And I remember this man in scrubs walking in, and he says to me, "I'm Dr. Kelpie. I'm a heart surgeon, and I'm going to do whatever I have to save your son, and I will save your son."
But we'd already passed the barrier of where some people would give up. You don't give up in a 26-year-old.
Craig had suffered an acute cardiac arrest. He was transferred to the Banner Medical Center, where Dr. Zane Kalpi, one of the world's top cardiothoracic surgeons, proposed a rare operation to decompress Craig's heart.
In order to recover one's heart, you have to move very quickly. So we developed a way to do that. And we actually did this in 2 people prior to Craig, the first 2 in the world, and Craig was the 3rd. By the first day, actually, the second day, we saw his heart beating. And then we were overcautious, and by day 5, we said, okay, this is really recovering.
These people are nothing short of a gift to mankind. And I will remember the gift that they have given me every time I look at my son. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Always the fighter, Craig somehow survived. But he wasn't completely in the clear.
Captain Craig Cunningham facing another setback.
I had an infection that set in my leg, and they were afraid that my heart wasn't strong enough to fight it off. Ultimately my decision, but it was his medical advice that the leg needed to be taken.
When it came to the point in time where we had to speak about it, he knew. And I knew, and it just had to be done.
After the leg amputation, I didn't even think about really, it was so much pain that I wasn't sure how long it was going to take to recover, and not only to walk, but to try and get on the ice. And I don't know how this little experiment's going to go.
Are you a little nervous about it?
I don't know about nervous, probably just, maybe I'm just nervous. I'm disappointed myself because the last time that I was skating, compared to now, is a pretty big difference. The last time I was on the ice, I was playing in the American Hockey League, and now I step on the ice and I need someone's arm. I can't, I look like someone that came off the street and was skating for the first time. I was honestly disappointed the first time that I got on the ice. If this is the way it's going to be, then I'm not going to want to skate.
But in typical Craig fashion, he persisted, battling not just for quality of life, but his legacy in hockey.
The Coyotes announced today that they have signed Craig Cunningham to a 2-year contract as a pro scout.
I'm not sure yet what my future holds, but Coyotes have presented me with a great opportunity to have a start.
See you, man.
All right. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Craig also partnered with Dr. Kalpi on an improved heart screening program for hockey players. Starting last August with the Coyotes, they hope the rest of pro hockey will follow in 2018.
I'm a living proof that, hey, we're not all superhuman here. Rich Peverly had a cardiac situation. Yuri Fisher had a cardiac situation. I think Brett McLean had a cardiac. Yes. Alexei Sharaponov in Russia. So it does happen, and someone needs to do something about it.
Stop the game. It is pandemonium and panic over there.
He doesn't want people to have sudden cardiac death. I think he wants to be leading a team who's going to screen athletes, and that's what our team is trying to do.
And no surprise to me, Craig has not given up skating. That gritty, obstinate kid I first met in Trail, BC 16 years ago, that's still Craig. Simply put, he's all heart.
The second time when he put that skate on and he skated, The look on his face, the look on my face, the look on everybody's face was like, wow.
No, I'm not going to play in the NHL ever again, but just to get back on the ice and be around that atmosphere and that environment was not only big for me physically, but mentally to kind of ease the pain of that.
Let's hear it, fans. Number 22, Craig Cunningham.
He's inspiring. He's inspiring to people who've not just been survivors of sudden cardiac death. I think he's going to leave a legacy in terms of what he wants to do. He's going to be somebody iconic.